Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to the first Keita Gaming TV video. This time it's a patch notes talk show about the 677C hitting the live service probably around Friday or something like that. With me I have Vance Van as well as Eagle Eye Whaler, and well, they are assisting me today. Hello guys.
Good evening.
Hello.
First thing, we have the solo matchmaking option added. That means basically you can now, if you're a solo person, you select solo matchmaking and there are no more stacks. So neither on your team nor on the enemy team there are stacked players. I think it's pretty interesting because it will prevent maybe one team stomping another. What do you think about this?
Yeah, okay, it's a step in the right direction, but if you just queue solo and you just got solo people and 5 random people, maybe it's the communication a little bit difficult. And for parties like 2 or 3 people playing together, maybe it gets harder to find a match because solo people just solo matchmaking. But I think it's pretty cool.
For me, I think that it's a nice option. It is a nice, it's a nice feature that they could work towards adding in to be a way for people that are playing solo to play with other people that are playing solo, so that they're not thrown into a matchmaking where they're up against a full stack or something. I think it's, as far as that goes, it'll be a lot more. It would be easier for certain people to get into the Dota scene, maybe, because they're not instantly thrown up against a stack. Because when I remember the very first time that I played Dota, this was back on Warcraft 3, when you got into a match, I was playing up against a 4 stack, and they basically just said, just don't, you do this, you do your thing, and we'll do ours. And I think if you've got 5 people that know that they're soloing, that it might give more of an incentive to communicate, because you know that these guys don't know each other. And because we've all played those games where the one guy just sits and farms in the jungle all game and the other 4 just go ahead and carry it. Well, if you don't have a stack like that, it might make it a little bit harder you know for you to communicate. So I think this sort of option would help that along a little bit, but it might just not be used very much. We will have to see.
Well, we have to see how it will turn out. I hope CyborgMed will give us a little bit more information about on this. So yeah, we're waiting for him to produce his awesome content. And we move on to the next topic. We have now community. We have only 2 bans per week. They were reduced from infinity to 4 to now 2 bans per week. Question: is it too less, or maybe it's the right choice? Because banning a person is always like, you were a bad person, you get banned. And maybe, what is a thought of mine, if somebody plays a lot Dota, he will naturally come more in contact with persons that are bad, probably. Just bad behavior or whatsoever. Maybe make it a flexible ban system, so whoever plays more gets more bans. What do you think of this?
Um, I think that I've talked to a few players and a few competitive players and a few casters, and they were really annoyed at the ban and reporting system, because a lot of people were getting banned because of, basically, from what I gather, it was sort of an automated system where if it was like you hit a certain number of reports, that it would automatically ban you or whatever. And I'm not sure 100% how that works, but I know that a lot of people were getting communication banned that weren't actually abusing anything. And I think reducing the number of negative reports to 2 per week will maybe encourage Valve to take a more hands-on approach to looking at the reporting system, to see if people are actually abusing the voice chat or the text chat in games, or if it's just people are being trolls and are trying to make false reports. Because as it stands now, a lot of people are getting their communication cut off, and it's not due to something that they have done. It's just people are filing false reports.
Yeah, I saw this as well, but I have a clue for you, and they said in the patch notes, they say they will tune the report systems. So that's what this was actually also my idea, that maybe they make a panel with people, maybe get something like 100 people out of the community you trust, then get them into a room, or well, not a physical room, but I think you get the idea, and
Yeah,
then let them look at reports the whole day. I think League of Legends does something similar. I have no idea how it turns out to them, but it's a try. It's worthy, I think. And well, two reports per week. Basically for me, it is enough. I
I
meet a
think
lot of
also it's
bad
enough.
persons, but sometimes there's just persons that are real bad, and you have to report them. But normally, if you are like against one who flames a lot, just mute him, and it's okay.
I
So
also think it's forcing you to think twice if you really want to give a negative report to the person. So two is, I think, okay. Maybe three, but not really more.
yeah. Well, okay, the next section should be done rather quick. We have gameplay. The Elder Titan, his legacy keys were fixed. We knew this was a little bit problem to some players who play with them, and they were a little bit annoyed by this. So also Purge, he can now make a new video. Draw Ranger, Frost Arrows don't slow the bear from Lone Druid. For creep duration anymore, well, a slight correction to her, or is there something more? Because Draw Ranger, she isn't even picked in the competitive scene. Well, no, she was seen in ATOD. Correction.
Well, that's not exactly competitive, but
It is. It's like $1,500. This is nearly the international. Oh yeah, the international.
almost.
I throw this in. It isn't part of the patch notes, of course, but I have to throw this in. The International 2013 will have an increased prize pool for numbers of compendiums, or how they are called, sold, up to 2.6 million.
Yes. Every compendium that's bought contributes to the overall price pool for the international in 2013. So if you've not gone out and bought your compendium now, you get a free courier, and yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. I've got mine, and
Yeah,
I'm
I have
tweaking
also.
my predictions as we speak. So
Yeah, the All-Star team is pretty cool. But just to throw this in, so 2.6 million, up to, not reached yet, but up to 2.6 million prize pool. This is actually quite interesting, and I'm really like to see how it will turn out, how much it will be. Well, change the topic again. Task, we have two slight fixes. Walrus Punch, one less second of slow than intended, so one more second of Walrus Punch. Won't do anything, I think. Not that interesting, or is it?
Not really, no.
And the omelet sometimes causing Walrus Punch disappearing after using Snowball. So these are just slight fixes for him being MCM now. And I'm really excited about teams picking him. I think Navi picked him one time with the Skywrath Mage, and I think they even won their games. I think it was against
Yep,
QFed.
it was two
So
against nil.
new meta incoming, task support, and I'm really looking forward to the Elder Titan. I know the Chinese teams picked him a lot in Dota 1 days, so let's see how if he will come up before the TI3, and let's see if teams pick him there.
I don't.
So,
As far as Elder Titan or
Tauren Chieftain.
Torrent Chieftain, yeah, being in the metagame, I think he's a decent hero, but he needs a lot of positioning. He needs something to set up for,
Yeah.
because his ultimate is extremely easy to walk out of. It takes about 4 or 5 seconds from the time that you actually press your
3.0.
ultimate button and click on the ground. I know it takes 3
3.1.
seconds. I know it takes
3.14.
Yeah, it takes 3 seconds, I think, after it's already laid down. But I'm talking from the time that it has to lay down the crack and then pull the ulti. It's a pretty long ulti,
Oh yeah,
and you can
yeah,
actually see it going off. So you need to have some sort of setup. Whether I know the teams for the international last year loved playing Naga Siren, so maybe this would be an incentive to see more Naga Sirens picked up, or Enigmas, or
Well, we have the Magnus, who's
Magnus.
omnipresent as yet.
Darkseer, anything that has something that can basically hold people down for a fixed amount of time to set up for that. I think he could
Yeah.
be picked, and he could be a very nice hero if played correctly. And
Yeah.
judging by a lot of the pub games that I've spectated lately, a lot of pub players do not know how to play him correctly.
That's the sad thing
Yeah, it's a
about the
little bit
most new heroes.
complicated. You
Okay,
really need all of the freer abilities to really initiate with him, and it make him pretty hard to play, especially for pub players.
well, they have always problems. They have also problems with Slurk or Visage or something like that. But yeah, last topic, or do you want to say anything more about Elder Titan? I haven't played him yet, so I can't like go into this discussion.
Yeah, not really. But
Okay.
I think we will see much more fixes by at the Elder Titan, because I really think there are some things that can bug. So
Yeah, there are some reported bugs already, so let's see.
yeah,
Um, well, last point, reduced memory usage on systems with less than 2 GB RAM. This might sound small and might just sound like some little improvement here or there, but I think this will heavily be for the Asian scene. As you know, Asians, they don't have all like the super uber duper computers, and they often play on LAN cafes or something like this. And I think Valve just targets the Chinese scene with this. We all know Perfect World. They are the Chinese servers are online. Perfect World, I think they are slowly trying to ship Dota 2 there. And I think if the game goes live, this issue will actually be kind of big. What is your opinion?
Reducing the memory usage on systems with less than 2 gigs of RAM. You're talking about the Chinese scene. I would imagine that the LAN cafes in China would have computers with more than 4 gigs of RAM. I think this is more along the lines of design for people that have lower end computers that are trying to play Dota 2, and are experiencing problems with it. Uh, I would I would almost say that any computer that has, I mean, I mean, it's 2013. Any computer with less than 2 gigabytes of RAM is not a gaming computer. Most computers nowadays come standard with at least 8 gigs. If you're on a lower end, maybe four, but if you've got 2 gigs of RAM, I don't think you're more of in a LAN cafe. I think it's just improving the ability for more people with lower end computers to play Dota 2, which I think is nice because I used to game on a very dated computer, and I know the pain of a lot of gamers trying to play this wonderful game. So I do commend them for that, and making it more accessible to more people.
Pro player
yeah, I'm the same
plays.
opinion. It's pretty cool, but wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Well, we will see. We will wait for some weeks. Then Chinese comes in, and then suddenly we have like 1 million, 2 million, 1 billion consecutive players. No, that's a little bit over exaggerated, but yeah, I think you get the point. Well, we are through. Very short patch log this week. We needed a lot of time, 13 minutes, so we will wrap it up quite fast. I hope we will like can make it faster the next week. But yeah, thank you for helping me with this, guys. And thank you for tuning in as well. This was the first Keita Gaming TV video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Any last words?
Good night, people.
Okay, so yeah, we will see you.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of the current format? How do you like the show? How can we improve? Do you have any further wishes? Just write it in the comments. And make sure you also visit our main website, keitagaming.com.